Good afternoon. We'll now start. Okay. So first of all, I'd like to welcome everybody to this pep talk this afternoon. Please mute yourself, but always show your video picture. Sign in your name, your Facebook account, or email address in the chat box. Please include the names of companions attending with you. Use the chat box to ask questions and make comments while the pep talk is on. There'll be group pictures at the start and end of the pep talk. Please show your faces in the video. Reminder, after the pep talk, please take the online learning comp evaluation test exercise or OLETE for mastery of learning and have a perfect score to get a certificate like the one shown here. I placed the link in the chat box. Another reminder, obtaining 25 OLETE certificates will entitle one mentee to one voucher for a RO Hoson medical consultation, either face-to-face or telemedical. Another request, please type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum and before we adjourn. So at the moment, those who have not answered the question, please do so. I'm making a survey before the talk. Okay. Do all operations need antibiotics? Just yes, type in yes or no. Then if you want to add more reasons for justifications, you're welcome to do so. So let's now have a group picture taking before we start the pep talk proper in 2 minutes. Please turn on your video now and show your faces. Okay. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. I have a patient empowerment program in which I like to empower the lay people or patients to take control in the management of their health. I started the pep talk on May 15, 2021 during the COVID-19 pandemic. There are 3 courses in the pep talk. I completed the core course on October 9, 2021. And then from October 23, 21 onwards, I've been tackling health disorder and health issue courses. May 17, 2025 marks the start of year number 5 for the RO Hoson pep talk. How long the pep talk will last will depend on the enthusiasm, discipline, and perseverance of everybody. My pep talk today is entitled, Do All Operations Need Antibiotics? The empowerment objective is for the lay people to have an essential understanding on whether all operations need antibiotics as part of their health management. The contents will be the following. Do all operations need antibiotics? And then what are the indications? Kailan gagamitin yung antibiotics? If the answer is no, there is no need for routine administration of antibiotics. And then what are RO Hoson advocacy positions on the use and non-use of antibiotics in operations? Disclaimer, my pep talk will contain my thoughts, perceptions, opinions, and recommendations, or TPOR, culled from personal experiences as well as from the writings of other health professionals. Let's start with the first topic. Do all operations need antibiotics? So, categorically, I want to say that no, not all operations need antibiotics. Okay. No, not all operations need antibiotics. Just to repeat it. No, not all operations need antibiotics. So this is the answer to this question, not all. There is a common perception among lay people and even health professionals, even yung mga doktor, mga iba, kumisang surgeons din, no? Pero majority kahit na yung mga doctor na hindi surgeons, okay? So health professionals who are not surgeons, okay, including the lay people, marami dyan, are still expecting the antibiotics after an operations. As I said, sadly, there are also some surgeons who perceive the need for antibiotics in their operations and therefore give to all. Okay? So may mga surgeons na lahat ng operations may antibiotics, no, after an operation. So what are the indications? Kailan gagamitin kung di kailangan routine yung antibiotics in operations? So the primary guide on the indications for giving antibiotics in operations is the assessment by the surgeon on the risk of infection after the operation, whether there's a low, intermediate, high, or very high risk. So yung surgeons ang magko-quantitate ano ba yung chances of infection occurring after the operation. So he can quantify it in terms of low, intermediate, high, very high risk. There's no such thing as 0% wala namang 100% guarantee no infection whether you give or not give antibiotics. No? So it's just a matter of assessing the risk for infection, low, intermediate, high, or very high. So antibiotics are given, when antibiotics are given during the operations, the objective is really to prevent post-operative infection. But it all depends on the risk for infection after the operations. The risk for post-operative infection, just quantify it in terms of low, intermediate, high, and very high, is based on several factors. Number one, the resultant surgical or operative wound classification. I will explain this later on. May mga classifications kaming ginagamit by the surgeons. Then the type of surgery, kung anong klaseng operasyon, the operative factors, and then the patient factors. So these are the four major factors that will, which will be the determinant for the risk for the post-operative infection. So ito yung wound classification. We classify wounds into clean, contaminated, dirty, and infected. Okay. So when you say clean, no infection during the operation, wala, bago gumawa ng hiwa ng surgeon, walang infection on the skin. No entry into the respiratory, gastrointestinal, genitourinary tract. Kasi pag pumasok dito sa respiratory, gastrointestinal, genitourinary tract, may magkakaroon ng contaminants na. No? So for the clean operation, wala, hindi dadaan dito. Kaya ano. So if this be the case, no infection, no entry into respiratory, gastrointestinal, genitourinary tract, we classify the risk as low risk infection, no? No such thing as zero risk, no? Low risk. Now, kung clean contaminated naman, walang infection, pero pumasok during the operation, pumasok sa gastrointestinal tract, genitourinary tract, or respiratory tract. Okay? But these are under control, no? Okay? So example, inoperahan doon sa kidney, so pumasok na-touch yung mga urine, no? Then nag-opera sa intestine, no? So na-contaminate yung mga substances of the intestine. So we can classify this as intermediate. May konting contamination, but generally it's still clean. Now, contaminated, examples will be mga open wounds, yung mga sugat na walang naka-open, no? Okay. Gross spillage and break in the sterile technique of the operations. Kasi when we operate, we usually we observe sterile technique. Kung may break accidentally, may nag-breaking sterile technique, baka may nahiwa, may naputok na intestine, no, kaya nag-break ang technique, no? Then, we consider that as high infection risk kung contaminated na. Open wounds, yung sugat ay walang skin, nakabalot, no? Over it, naka-open, no? So the last one will be dirty and infected. So if there is an existing infection and perforated viscera, meaning when you say viscera, let's say stomach nag-ruptured, appendix nag-ruptured, okay, intestine nag-ruptured, gano'n, na? Okay. So these are infected, na? Okay. Or dirty, no? So the risk will be very high. So apat ang categorization that we usually use: low, intermediate, high, very high. So this will be used by the surgeons in doing the risk classification based on these situations. Okay. Ito yung mga definitions, na? Okay. So kung sa law siya, there's no indications for antibiotics, na? Pag sa intermediate risk naman, so the surgeon will decide may or may not give antibiotics. Now, for the contaminated one, because the high infection rate, the risk for infection is high, then nagbibigay ng antibiotics. Now, for the very high, of course, we expect bibigyan ng antibiotics, no? Okay. So for low risk, walang antibiotics, hindi kailangan. For intermediate, magde-decide yung doktor whether magbibigay o hindi, okay, depende sa how much is the contamination. Saka depende kung minsan, meron pang other factors like yung immunostatus ng pasyente, no? Kung saan baka masyadong mahina, matanda na, no? Maraming sakit, no? Kahit na contaminated lang, bibigyan ng antibiotics, no? But if the wound is classified as contaminated, dirty, and infected, automatically magbibigay ng antibiotics. So try to remember these slides. Now, type of surgery as a risk factors, yung una, the type of wound. Ngayon, the type of surgery naman kung anong klaseng operasyon. Kung yung superficial skin excision lang, let's say epidermal cyst, skin lesion na i-excise, no? So the risk for infection is very low. So hindi kailangan ng antibiotics, no? Ngayon, kung elective hernial surgery, okay, kung depende kung gaano katagal ang operasyon at kung merong mga incarcerated one na okay. So kung may contamination, then magbibigay yung surgeon. Kung wala naman, clean operation, kasi itong hernia surgery is more extensive than excision of skin lesions, no? So pwedeng hindi magbigay yung surgeon sa antibiotics, no? Pero kung mayroong contaminations, pwede siyang magbigay, no? Now, for colon resections, kasi yung colon usually mga madudumi yan kasi may mga tae, no? Mga ganon, no? So usually high risk, so nagbibigay ng antibiotics. Now, for emergency abdominal operations, example, with perforation, pumutok ang bituka, no? Okay. So puputulin ng bituka, no? Either with colostomy or anastomosis, very high ang risk for infection, then there's an indications to give antibiotics. Now, yung mga more extensive operation, joint replacement, kahit na malinis, cardiac surgery, kahit na malinis, no? Okay, so because of the risk for infection is high, no? Okay, lalo na kung may mga implants, no? So nagbibigay ng antibiotics, no? Okay. So kung small operation lang, very, very minor, excision lang, wala. No? The rest, it all depends. Now, pag high risk naman, very high, high operations, sophisticated operations, magbibigay ng antibiotics. Dito lang yung mga ito yung mga low to intermediate, pwedeng wala, pwedeng meron. No? Now, yung another operative risk factors will be the long operative time. Kung mahabang masyado, let's say 10 hours ang operation, 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, there's an increased risk, then nagbibigay ng antibiotics. Breaks in sterility, pag hindi, kung may accidentally, may nag-break yung, when I say sterility, we ensure that almost 99% walang bacteria na contaminate sa operative field. No? Pag may break, then there's an increased risk, then we give antibiotics. Then again, the use of prosthetic material, yung mga prosthesis, kasi foreign body siya, there's an increased risk for infection, so nagbibigay ng antibiotics. So long operating time, yung long depende, yung iba isang oras lang is not too long, 2 hours is not too long, 3 hours not too long, pwedeng wala, no? Pero kung mga 7 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours ang operasyon, nagbibigay na ng antibiotics, no? And then the patient risk factors naman, okay, risk factors on the part of the patient. Yung mga may diabetes, yung severe, no? Na immunocompromised, let's say may mga cancer, gano'n, no? Then, because of the increased risk, no? So, pwedeng magbigay, pwedeng hindi, no? Example, kung diabetes ka, mild lang diabetes mo, saka immunosuppression mo is just mild, no? No, there may be no need for the antibiotics, no? Kaya i-control ng katawan yung infection, no? Okay. Obesity, depending again on how obese, smoking, gaano katagal nag-smoke, and how poor nutrition, gaano kapayat, no? Again, it all depends. It can be, antibiotics can be given or not given depending on the extent of these factors, no? Age, more than 70, no? Pwedeng bigyan, pwedeng hindi. Yung mga pwedeng hindi bigyan, let's say kung kahit na 70 years old siya, ang gagawin lang naman, hernia, no? Yung clean na hernia, ang gagawin na lang, baka cauterization of warts, gano'n. Hindi na kailangan ng antibiotics, no? But if the patient is age 70, pagkatapos yung operasyon is extensive, no? Okay? Then, lalo na kung may prosthesis, no? Pagbibigay ng antibiotics, no? Then the other risk factor will be kung meron siyang pre-existing infection, no? In the body. So that will increase the risk for infection, therefore magbibigay ng antibiotics. Okay? So, example summary of risk levels, no? So we will combine the wound type, surgery type, operative factors, and patient factors together. Isasama-sama natin, no? So example, ito yung one situation. Clean surgery, walang infection, okay? Walang contamination, and then healthy patients, okay? Walang mga sakit sa, let's say, walang renal disease, walang severe diabetes, walang hypertension, walang okay? And then, yung number of hours for operation is less than 2 hours lang and no prosthesis. So we can classify the risk level as low. Kung low siya, there's no indications for antibiotics. No? Okay. Now, kung plain contaminated and then longer surgery, let's say 4 hours, 5 hours, and then there are minor comorbidities, let's say mild diabetes siya, mild hypertension, no, ganon. So we classify that as intermediate, no? Then the surgeon will decide whether to give or not to give. So he will assess it based on quantification of the risk here. Okay. Now, kung contaminated and dirty surgery, an immunocompromised patient, talagang mahinang-mahina, maraming sakit, no? There's a high risk for infection, then definitely magbibigay. No? Okay. So among the 4 factors considered in the risk assessment for postoperative wound infection, so the most important still, we put greatest weight on the type of surgery to be done, no? Whether it's clean, contaminated, dirty, or infected, no? Regardless of this type, no? Yan ang ano. Pero kung minsan, you have to factor in the type of surgery, operative factors, and patient factors. Pero among the 4, ang pinakamabigat dito to consider is the type of surgical wound. Okay? Kung dirty siya, kahit na minor operation siya, kahit na maganda yung operative factors niya and patient factors, magbibigay pa rin. Na? Antibiotics, if indicated, can be administered pre-operatively before the operation and continued post-operatively or after the operation. Or it can be given, isang bigayan lang, before the operation or pre-operatively. Or another situation, ibibigay lang post-operatively. Okay, so tatlong sitwasyon dito, before and after, just before, walang after na, and then the other one is after. And then antibiotics can also be given in the injectable forms and in the form of pills, tablets, or capsules. Okay. So yung mga injectables, yung mga hindi kailangan kumain, no? Okay. Hindi kailangan naka-NPO siya, no? Hindi siya pwedeng kumain, usually binibigay ng injectable antibiotics, no? Okay. Yung mga iba pwedeng kumain before the operation, then we can give the antibiotics before yung pills, mga capsules, no? But usually these are being given after the operation. So, in the end, it's still the surgeon who will decide on the most cost-effective regimen. Okay? Whether to give pre-op, both pre-op and post-op, and then pre-op lang or post-operative lang, and then whether to give it in injectable forms, kasi mas mahal yung injectable forms kaysa oral or yung mga tablet capsules. So, ang surgeon magdi-decide dito. So, what are R.O. Hoson's advocacy positions on the use and non-use of antibiotics in operations? Number 1, foremost, my stand is not all operations need antibiotics. Not all operations need antibiotics. We have to emphasize this to the lay people, to the non-surgeon healthcare professionals, kahit na doktor sila, kamisan, hindi rin nila alam ito, and some surgeons who think all patients undergoing any type of operations need antibiotics. So, minsan na-abuse ng mga kapwang surgeon, nagbibigay sila ng antibiotics na hindi kailangan. It can also contribute to antibiotic resistance. Marami tayong naririnig ko yung mga bawal magbigay ng antibiotics sa mga viral infections. We only give antibiotics for bacterial infections. Yung mga viral infections like flu, hindi kailangan ng antibiotics. And then marami tayong nakikita ng advertisement dyan by the WHO. Bawal magbigay sa viral infection because it can promote antibiotic resistance. When you say antibiotic resistance, baka maubos yung mga bisa ng mga antibiotics that in the future we don't have any more antibiotics to use. No? So we have to emphasize to the lay people, non-surgeons, as well as some of the surgeons, okay, that not all operations need antibiotics. Then we also have to correct their misperceptions. Kung anong nasa mindset nila, kailangan bago i-adjust to modulate patients' expectations and requests for antibiotics. I have a lot of patients asking me because of their perceptions na kailangan antibiotics for all operations. Sasabihin sa akin, Doc, bakit wala ho akong antibiotics? And then the last thing that we have to do is to modulate the surgeon's unnecessary prescriptions of antibiotics in operations. Antibiotics should be given only when indicated, only if indicated. So lay people should remember these general guidelines. Low risk for postoperative infection. If low risk, not needed. High risk, needed, indicated. Intermediate risk, let the surgeon decide. Na? Lay people should know that antibiotics do not guarantee zero postoperative infection. Kahit na magbigay ka ng antibiotics, does not guarantee hindi ka magkaka-infection. Pwede pa rin mag-infection. No? Okay. Kahit na yung mga clean operations. No? So there are other factors to consider. Kung minsan may break in the asepsis, kung minsan yung paglinis ng sugat, no? No? Baka dirty water ang ginagamit, so magkakaroon ng infection. No? So then the surgeons will decide on the cost effectiveness on the antibiotics to be used, and then also on the cost effectiveness on when not to use the antibiotics. Kasi kung di man kailangan at binibigyan ng antibiotics, extra gastos sa pasyente. No? Okay. Kung kailangan naman, the surgeon will decide what is the most cost-effective, meaning yung pinaka-effective pero pinaka-low ang cost. Let's say, pinaka-mura. No? Ganon. The surgeon should always explain to the patients why they will and why they will not prescribe antibiotics and get an informed consent on this from the patients. Usually, ang ginagawa ko, pag tinatanong ko siya, bakit walang antibiotics? No, i-explain ko why. Okay? Why I will not give. No? Most of the time, they will not question you if you give antibiotics. Kasi most of the time, they expect antibiotics. No? Okay. So, but kung wala akong binibigyan antibiotics, may mga tanong, then ine-explain ko. Sabihin ko, low risk for infection. No? And then, may mga complications pa ng side effects ng mga antibiotics kung di kailangan. No? And then, of course, the extra cost. No? Okay. The patient should ask their surgeons whether antibiotics are needed or not and why. So, ayan, people empowerment. Tatanungin yung surgeons, no? Wag sasabihin sa surgeon, Doc, bigyan mo kami ng antibiotics. Tanong niyo muna, no? Kailangan ba ng antibiotics o hindi? No? Okay, then the surgeon will be the one deciding and answer you, no? The patient should look for minimalist surgeons. When you say minimalist surgeons, these are the surgeons who prescribe only medicines when needed, no? Rather than the ritualistic. When you say ritualistic surgeons, yung mga dekahon, na baka yung pinakauso, kung maraming gumagawa, sasabay-sabay na lang sila. There's no rationalization, no, wala nang iniisip kung kailangan bigyan o hindi. No? Then also, try to avoid yung mga maximalist surgeons. Okay? So, yung mga maximalist surgeons will give, most of the time, they will give the antibiotics, no? Okay? So, ang stand nila, better to overdo. Okay? Than, hindi mo bibigyan, no? Parang sort of sigurista. Pero usually, hindi rin assurance na if you receive antibiotics, it will avoid infection 100% of the time. So kahit na mag-antibiotics ka, there's still a risk for infection. Why is the judicious use of antibiotics important? Overuse, okay, yung sobrang gamit ng antibiotics, then misuse, hindi mo kailangan gawin at ginamit yung antibiotics, misuse, contributes significantly to the development of antibiotic-resistant bacteria or tinatawag na superbugs, which are a major global health threat ngayon. No? Therefore, healthcare providers follow strict guidelines to ensure that antibiotics are used only when truly necessary. to maximize their effectiveness and minimize the risk of resistance. As I said kanina, may global warning sa atin, huwag tayo mag-misuse, overuse of antibiotics because it will cause antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Okay? So baka daw, kasi mahirap din mag-develop ng new antibiotics. No? Okay. So the moment we lose, pag naubos na yung mga antibiotics natin na effective, tayo ang talo. No? So maghahanap tayo ng bagong antibiotics. No? Also, the use of antibiotics both benefit, and benefit is to control the infection, but there's also the risk, the side effects, not just benefits. We have to understand that. No? So wag lang nating isipin na kailangan ng antibiotic just because we want to have control of the infection, but we should balance it with the risk. No? May mga side effect. No? Also, use of antibiotics entail costs. Okay. As we know, antibiotics are usually expensive. Now, if you have to use antibiotics, kung indicated, my suggestion is you go for the generic antibiotics kung kailangan. No? The generic antibiotics are as good as the mga innovative antibiotics. Okay. Summary and takeaway for this particular afternoon pep talk. I have discussed the following. Do all operations need antibiotics? What are the indications for antibiotics in operations? And what are R.O. Hosson advocacy positions on the use and non-use of antibiotics in operations? Takeaway in relation to patient empowerment, be always in touch with reliable medical information on do all operations need antibiotics? Knowledge is power. It gives power. Use the 4Ks of patient empowerment, kaalaman, kakayanan, karapatan, and kapangyarihan to gain greater control over decisions and make better decisions on this topic. Do all operations need antibiotics as part of your health management? So if you, after this, you will be in a better position to decide on yourself kung may sugat ka, may operation ka. Okay, actually yung principles on the operations that I discussed today, this afternoon, will be applicable to mga sugat na let's say na aksidente, na nasugatan, ganun din, no? Okay, applicable yon, no? So, as part of your health management, know when to use the antibiotics. So this ends my pep talk today. I hope I have empowered you to have an essential understanding on whether all operations need antibiotics as part of your health management. So before we go to the QA's portion, reminder after the pep talk, please take the online learning evaluation test exercise for mastery of learning and have a perfect score to get a certificate like this. I have placed the link in the chat box. And then obtaining 25 letter certificates will entitle one mentee to a voucher for a RO Hosson medical consultation, either face-to-face or telemedical. Another request, please type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum and before we adjourn. Thank you. Let's now have a group picture taking before we start the QA and interactions. Please turn on your video now. Okay, ready? Sino pa ba wala sa picture? Okay, Zoom user. Okay. One, two, three. Okay. The floor is now open for questions, comments, suggestions. Okay. Short consultations, pwede rin. Okay. So, based on the survey, tingnan natin survey, ilan ang sagot. Ang last person to answer is Baby Spirito. Okay. Si Rochelle lang. The rest no, pero si Rochelle ang yes. Rochelle,
Yes po, Doc. Hi.
anong, ano, bakit?
Bakit po ako nag-yes?
Yes, yan ang,
Ah,
hindi, I won't blame you. Baka yan ang
opo, opo.
perception. Okay.
Oo. Ano po kasi bilang isang ordinaryong pasyente po, no, no, hindi po ganito kalawak yung kaalaman tungkol sa antibiotics. Ang alam
Okay.
ko kasi every time may operation, may antibiotics siya to prevent infection.
Okay.
So yun po ang pagkakaalam ko. Now with the ano po, with the pep talk, now I understand na hindi po lahat kailangan ng antibiotics. It all depends on the surgeon's recommendation. But so you know, Doc, alam ko rin po na aware kayo na not all doctors are as minimalist as you. So meron pong talagang minsan po nagiging automatic sa mga doktor every time may operation, may antibiotics. Based on my experience lang po, Doc, ha. So palagi pong hindi po nawawala si antibiotics sa prescription every time po may ganyan. May operation or whatever. Kasi yung simple nga lang po na tonsillitis, may antibiotics eh. Yung parang nire-relate ko po siya doon, Doc. So yun yung why I answered yes. Yun
Yeah,
po yung
okay.
reason.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank you for joining us and then contributing to this interactions, no? Kasi
Thank you din, Doc.
it really drive home my yung reason why I decided to talk on this one, no? Kasi pag choice of topics ko, a lot of times I consider yung mga which yung from experience, no? Maraming may misconceptions, no? As I said, pag nag-o-opera ako, kung minsan malinis, no? Ang daming pag wala ako I don't give antibiotics left and right. Kung wala akong antibiotics, no, sa tanong sa akin, Doc, bakit walang antibiotics? No? Okay. So sasabihin ko sa kanila, hindi kailangan. Number one, malinis naman ang operasyon. Number two, sabi ko, malinis naman ako mag-opera. Baka yung nagbibigay sa iyo ng antibiotics, marami mag-opera. Binibiro ko lang, no? Ganon, no? Okay. Then it's also true that yung maganda yung observation mo rin. Thank you, no? May mga surgeons talaga na dekahon na lang sila, no? Basta. Kasi kung minsan, ano ang aking thinking lang dito, bakit yung mga ibang surgeons nagbigay ng antibiotics? Kasi they just want to satisfy the patients without explaining. Kasi alam nila, nag-expect yung mga pasyente ng antibiotics, no? So magbibigay na lang sila kaysa mag-explain sila, no? That's one. Tama? Tama ba? Maraming
Correct
dok.
po, Doc. Yes,
Oo.
marami pong ganyan, Doc.
Oo, ayaw na nila mag-explain. Okay, basta kasi sabi na, ina-expect ng pasyente, bahala siya magbayad. Ito siya bibili. No? Okay. So number two, yung iba na parang ano, hindi sila nag-iisip na basta parang naging routine na. Kasi kumisan yung mga in training o dating ginagawa na nagbabago yan eh, no? Let's say kung may mga studies that shows na yung incidence of infection, let's say after an operation, a certain type of operations, mababa lang. At before, kung nagbibigay sila ng antibiotics, no? So pwede nilang palitan, no? ng posisyon, no? Okay. Example, yung mga, okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. About four of you present here now, no? Yung mga may breast operations, no? I don't think I gave you antibiotics. Di ba? Okay. Seni, di ba? Wala akong
Yes po,
antibiotics.
Doc.
Okay.
Wala po.
So, modified
Nanghihingi
radical
po ako, hindi
mastectomy.
niyo ako binigyan.
Okay. So, sila Lorly, wala rin. Sila Ellen, wala rin. Kahit na, kasi may mga institutions that will tell you na pag gumawa kayo ng modified radical mastectomy, dapat may antibiotics. No? Sa akin, because I base it on my personal experience, mga 1% lang bihira yung infection. I'm not going to say zero, no? Kung 99% or 98% wala namang infection, bakit mo pa bibigyan, di ba? Okay. So which is true in all your cases. Si Mayan na-operahan ka rin, di ba? Wala namang infection, no? Wala akong antibiotics binigay, no? So practically all of you who underwent breast operations, wala akong binigyan ng antibiotics, no? Kahit na yung operation natin is 2 hours major operations, no? Okay. Nagbibigay lang ako ng antibiotics kung let's say yung breast cancer na pumutok na, no, bago ko operahan, no? May mga nana pumutok na, no, that kailangan operahan. So may break na sa skin, may contamination na. That's the time I give antibiotics, no? But even with that giving of antibiotics, wala ring guarantee na hindi mag-infect, no? Okay. Pero kung malinis ang yung sugat, malinis ang bukol, no? Usually hindi kailangan ng antibiotics, no? Ganon din sa thyroid, no? So kadalasan marami diyan mga surgeons nagbibigay ng antibiotics, no? Thyroid kasi is a clean operations, no? Hindi mo kailangan ng antibiotics na, no? Okay, kahit na mag 5 hours ka doon, sino bang wala sa
Dok,
inyo rito?
may tanong lang po.
Sige, baby.
Kung naoperahan, pagkalabas ng operating room, recovery, wala pang 24 hours, nilagnat.
Oh,
Tuloy-tuloy ang
nilagnat.
lagnat.
Oo.
Opo.
So,
So, binigyan ng antibiotics.
yung sige. Number one, titingnan natin, ano ba yung reason bakit siya nilagnat? Di ba?
Kasi,
Okay.
Dok, naoperahan sa colon, tinanggal ang buko. Tapos nilagnat. Tapos parang
Ay,
mayroong nagnana. Sa charity kasi,
hindi, sa colon, usually nagbibigay ng antibiotics.
nagbibigay po.
Oo. Di siya nabigyan ng antibiotics?
Binigyan nga po, Dok, kasi nilagnat, IV, ng ilang days, 1 week yata.
Okay. Pag colon kasi, usually kasi medyo marumi yung colon, di ba? Kasi may contaminations, mga etches yan no? So
Opo.
usually binibigyan ng antibiotics before the operation, no? But even with the giving of antibiotics, as I said, wala ring guarantee. Just like in your, no? Kung kakaroon pa rin ng infection, no? Pwede pa rin, no?
Opo.
Okay,
Opo.
kasi it could be due to other factors like mahina ang resistensya ng pasyente, no? Kahit na bigyan mo ng antibiotics, hindi kakayanin. Number two, baka yung operasyon ng surgeon, medyo kalat-kalat yung hindi
Di
malinis,
maganda.
no? Okay.
Opo.
So, anyway,
Usually, Dok, pag ganun sa charity, ganun yata.
ah, hindi,
Sa charity,
kahit sa private, ganun din.
ganun din po.
Depende sa
Ah,
surgeon. Depende sa surgeon,
ah,
iba-ibang surgeon. Na?
ah,
Okay. So meron
sige
din
po.
mga, let's say thyroidectomy, malinis, hindi kailangan ng operation, hindi kailangan ng antibiotics, no? Nagkaroon ng fever after the operation, no? Pwede,
Opo.
ha? So hindi ibig sabihin, may infection siya sa sugat, no? So yan
Opo.
tinatawag na infection sa baga, no?
Ah,
First day, basta fever on the first day of the operation, usually yung tinatawag na atelectasis, sa baga, no? So,
opo.
pwede naman hindi bigyan ng antibiotics kagad, i-observe lang. Then, the next, basta deep breathing exercise lang, no? And then, usually mawawala yung fever, no? Okay?
Opo.
So hindi ibig sabihin na nagkaroon ng fever, automatically it's infection on the wound on the operation, no? Okay?
Opo, Doctor. Opo. Okay. Thank you, Doc.
Okay, you're welcome. So good. Maganda yung mga samples na binibigay ninyo. Sige, share pa para maano natin. Okay. Applicable din sa mga sugat ito, ha? Pag let's say nasugatan ka na, nahiwa ka, mag-antibiotics ka ba? Nahiwa ka lang ng isang blade, no? Na
Hindi, Doc.
malinis
Pero pag
blade.
nababad sa baha, Doc, antibiotics.
Doxycycline.
Doc, opo, Doc.
Doxycycline, okay.
Opo,
Pag
Doc.
let's say, abrasion, nagasgas, na ganon, na pwedeng hindi na kasi nasa mababaw lang, no? Linisin lang, no? Pwedeng walang antibiotics, no? Yung sugat naman, yung nahiwa lang, may konting laceration, pas linis lang, pwedeng hindi na magbigay ng antibiotics, no? Okay. Pero kung yung mga sugat na talagang, let's say, may infection na, no? Karoon ng nana, no, kailangan ng antibiotics na yon, no? Okay. So, ganun din sa yung operation is just like any sugat na, pero ang kaibahan lang sa operasyon, ginawa ng surgeon yon intentionally, no? Yung mga accidental sugat, no, iba yon, no? Iba yung, yung ang sitwasyon, iba, no? Pero principles are still the same, no? Ika-classify into clean, contaminated, saka dirty. Yung dirty, may nana talaga. May nana na yung sugat, no? May nana na yung operasyon, no? So, kailangan na talaga ng antibiotics, no? Pero sabihin ko lang sa inyo, antibiotics is walang absolute guarantee na makokontrol, no? Kung may infection, dapat tanggalin yung mga infection. Kung minsan, yung operative technique ay importante doon, no? Example, pag may pigsa. Pag may pigsa ka, no? Kahit na mag-antibiotics ka, pag di pa pumuputok ang pigsa, no? Andyan pa rin. Di ba? Pero pag pumutok na yung pigsa, o kaya binutasan ng doktor na drain, natanggalin yung nana, kadalasan di mo na kailangan ng antibiotics. Basta tanggalin mo lang yung nana. Na? Okay. So that's an example of rational use of antibiotics. Na? Okay. So kaya kung may nana, may pigsa, may patanggalin yung nana kaysa mag-rely on antibiotics. No? Okay. Okay. So any more questions? Antibiotics. So, not all operations need antibiotics. Tapos, hindi. So, the principles are the same sa mga sugat. No? Okay. So, pag may operation kayo, tanong na lang niyo sa doktor, Dok, kailangan ko ba ng antibiotics? Pag sinabi niya hindi kailangan, tanggapin ninyo. No? Pag sinabi niya kailangan, tanong din ninyo, bakit kailangan? Kasi kung minsan, baka dekahog lang siya. No? Okay. Okay. So, any more? Still have 5 minutes? Wala sa inyo nagtumanggap ng antibiotics from me, no? Belet, nag-antibiotics ka ba, Belet?
Doc, hindi po. Pero hindi
Oh,
po kayo nag-opera sa
kaya
akin.
nga. So, hindi ka
Hindi po,
nabigyan.
hindi po ako
Okay.
binigyan ni Dr.
Okay.
Gemma.
Good. Good.
Parang pain reliever lang ho ang binigay.
Good. Okay. Kahit na yung baka meron kang 1 dose ng antibiotics before the operation.
Hindi
Hindi mo
ko
alam.
matandaan. Hindi ko na
Okay.
matanda kung ako binigyan.
Okay. May mga ganon, bibigyan ka ng 1 dose before the operation. Yung tinatawag na prophylactic, no? After that, wala na, no? Ganon.
Opo.
So, baka meron, no? 1
Hindi ko
dose.
na hindi ko na.
Yeah. Ako, I don't, kahit na 1 dose, hindi ko binibigyan pag malinis ng operasyon, no? Okay. Yung thyroid, ganun din. Marami dyan sa mga surgeons in Manila, nagbibigay sila ng 1 dose, no? Okay. 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 So, wala nang tanong.
Wala na po, Doc.
So, not all operations need antibiotics, ha? Tandaan lang ho ninyo, no? Okay. Okay. So, kung wala nang tanong, we'll call it a day. We'll see each other again next week. No?
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you, Doc.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Doc.
Thank you po,
Salamat.
Doc.
Thank you
Happy
po, Doc.
weekend.
Happy
Bye.
weekend also. Bye-bye.
Thank you po.